Hey, what's up? It's time for a comic review. And this comic review is of Walking Dead Volume 1, Days Gone By. Okay, you might not know this about me, but I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead. The books, the shows, not really the toys. Don't collect the toys too much. I might, probably not, but it's still an option. It's still on the table. But, first off, jumping in. So, this is probably the closest thing that the TV show ever got to, except for how this book ends. And warning, there are spoilers. This book came out a long time ago, so you might, if you're watching this review, you've probably not read it yet, but you've probably watched the show, like I did. So, the beginning, it starts with him waking up in the hospital, waking up from the coma, and finds out the zombie apocalypse, meets Morgan, they go to the police station, get the guns and everything. It really is just exactly like the first episode. And he gets a horse, and he starts going to Atlanta to find his family. He gets ambushed by zombies, and then Glenn rescues him like he did in the TV show. They get back there, he meets Lori and Carl again, all that. And they end up kind of just surviving outside of Atlanta like they did in the show until they realize it's not safe there anymore. But in the show, Shane was, once they realized that it wasn't safe where they were, he was all for the moving. But in the comics, Shane was, no, we're not moving, because he was the boss or whatever. And I'll get into that later. But they end up going back to Atlanta to steal guns and stuff like that. To get guns from a gun store and all that. And then Shane kind of makes moves on Lori throughout the book while Rick's away. She rejects him once Rick gets back, and he gets all heartbroken and he starts getting really mad. And then they go out there's a scene where they go out into the forest. Him, Dale, and Shane, Rick, Shane, and Dale go out into the forest. They're chopping wood and getting some meat for this cookout they're going to do. And Shane just freaks out when he's like, man, Rick's like, it's getting pretty cold. And he's like, yeah. And then Shane freaks out. He's like, we're not moving the camp. It's safer here. I know it's getting cold. It's going to get colder. And he gets mad at him. And then Dale's like, that boy's got problems. And later on, they start talking about their past and stuff like that. And then zombies come. Zombies come again. And this is when they realize it's not safe here. The zombies come, they kill Amy, Andrea's sister, like they did in the show. And they bite Joe, who's the mechanic who gets killed, and he takes forever to change, and then he shoots himself. He has to shoot himself, and then Shane loses his mind, yells at him, it's not my fault for what happened at the camp. And Rick's like, yeah, it is, because you wouldn't move it. You listened to me. You knew this was going to happen eventually. And they go out and they talk. And then Shane punches Rick. Lori smacks him. And then the next day he's like, let's go hunting and whatnot. And then he goes, and Carl chases him. And then Shane points a shotgun at Rick and is like, oh, you took everything from me. Everything's gone. And then he's about to shoot Rick, and then all of a sudden Carl comes up and goes and shoots him right through the throat. And Carl goes, it's not like shooting the dead ones. And Rick goes, it never should be, son. It never should be. And that's how it ends. And I definitely recommend reading these books if you are a fan of The Walking Dead. And just to see the cover, and the artwork's pretty decent inside if you just kind of fan through it a little bit, stop on a few pages so you see it. But yeah, the artwork's really good. It's all in black and white, but honestly, I was gonna be like, it's black and white, I kind of like color, but no, this story's amazing enough that I don't need the color. Anyways, peace out, like, comment, subscribe.